Hope the lockdown's going well. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Ko te tangi tēnei a tamali, ka wara e tukuna ke kurangi a koe e te iwi tamli. Ngā whakaro, ngā waiaro, o honga ake ka ki te tenei no mai anō. E rangi mo te oranga nui me no ho pai anō. Ke tūpato chief ke huri koe hei kai ako. Te nākahi, e hare ana i te pātiti, e whai ana ke ano hoko te tika, te toko iti. Me ua ka whiti pene anō i te priti, tori whakapaparanga kātahi pēr te rā ka whiti. Nā whai anō tā tātou ini ki tua o tipsy, tūronga waiwai kore ko tōna rite, he gypsy. Anā. Ko tātou te rai ai nei, no pira pēna hoa nā, we can't fly away. Tohunga suppression, that means we must hide away. Make sure the pillars were soft, so we could die away. Ha! Ko te atua tōku piringa, as long as we believe on this one, no ko whiringa. Ki te kore, well, you know, I'm in it. So we all take off our hats and go, I'm in it, I'm in it, I'm in it. Yeah. I'm in it, I'm in it, I'm in it. Yeah. How does it feel to be house standing on your own land? That's why my man, I sing my song. Toru whāri ma banga whakapaparanga. Disconnected, that's the makutu we under oppression. I ain't trying to bring us down, it's just something I don't hear much in this generation. E pene me te hip hop, mo te nere anga. Must be scared ana, hence why I'm here to raise the bar. I'm a modern day Māori, more real than most. But whakaiti be fucking with my need to boast. This mana mo tu haki te be getting old, cause they mining our data and selling to our soul. Me pehera, te kite anga mahi tōtika, especially when our screen time's up in them figures. Kana te Māori, hope they whakaoho mai, but if they don't, at least I know that you will paki mai. Mai ngā tani whao te ao ho. Mai cause intrinsically we know it's time to go. Mai cause we need you at your best. This is only me putting my yeah to the test.
Ka tauha whakatau ko te rangi etu nei, ka tauha whakatau ko te popai takato nei, ka tauha whakatau ko te taumata kōrero o ngā mātua kua mine ki te pō ka tihei. Mauri o rei ngai o te motu, nau mai hoki mai rā. Welcome back to the podcast, the Taumata Kōrero, the quintessential space to disseminate a little bit of esoteric knowledge. My name is Raniera Harrison, the one, the only, and I am back in the lockdown edition to drop some esoteric knowledge for you all tonight. E hoama, e mihi ana kia koutou katoa i o koutou nā kāinga. Nā kia whaiwahia hau ki te tuku i tētahi mihi nui ki tā tātou, ki tō tātou rangatira, ki tō tātou manuhiri i tēnei pō. We have a big show on the agenda tonight. Let's break it down and introduce our guest for the evening, Mr. Poutawa, Kireka, Fit2Guk. Cheer, my bro, tēnā koe.
Ko wala, kei te pai.
Cheer, my bro. Hey, kia tīmata a tāua kōrero, just to kick us off, tell us a bit about yourself, bro. Your name, where you're from, all that sort of thing, bro. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised here in Hawke's Bay, Hastings. I've lived there all my life. My birth name is Poutawa Kireka Whiti, but people call me Puck. I'm better known around as Puck. I have 6 brothers and sisters. I was raised by my mum. Yeah.
Where's the Kireka whānau from, bro?
Oh, the Kireka whānau is from Haumona. It's a little town here in Hastings or Hawke's Bay.
Massive shout out to all the whānau in Haumona.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot there.
I just want to keep our kōrero ticking along. As you can see, our viewers, all 317, my bro, we've hit the big time. I'll get the big dogs on and I hit the big time. Tell us a bit about Yeah, we're cracking it. We're cracking it. Tell us a bit about your journey, bro. Like how you came to be where you are today.
So how I came about to be where I am today is, my life has been a roller coaster. Like I've been around and around and around and just hit brick walls every time I go around. But this time it was a bit different. And I found exercise and health and fitness really beneficial for myself and my mental health and my well-being. And when I started taking fitness and that up, everything just started to change for myself. The way that I started to think, the way I started behaving, it just all started to change and for the better. And it was just a feeling that I can't even explain it sometimes, because it was a weird feeling to be going from how I used to be to how I am now.
Well, let's go. I think that's a good place for us to go in, bro. Tell us about how you used to be. Obviously, I was doing a bit of research on you earlier, bro. 33 years of age. What did a 23-year-old Puck look like, bro? Where were you, say, 10 years ago from today?
23-year-old me, I would have been just bad man. I was just a bad man, doing dumb shit, doing bad things to people, a lot of violent behavior. And then, would have been in prison after that. In 23.
Bro, I don't want to turn this into a space where you feel like you have to throw all of your like dirty laundry out here, bro, because I think what a lot of people who are tuning in tonight gravitate towards you. The reason they gravitate towards you is because of this. Because you've been there, bro. You've seen it. Talk me through that journey. That you've seen some of the lowest of lows, bro. And as we were off screen earlier, and you were telling me about some of those lows that you've seen, but it's like they say, bro. It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's actually how many times you get up. And for me, the reason I welcomed you onto this podcast is because for me, bro, you are the embodiment of that. Get knocked down 7 times, get back up 8. What's your take on that, bro?
Oh. Yeah, no, I've definitely seen like the really shitty sides of life, and now I'm starting to see some of the really good sides of life as well. But growing up, it was hard. It was hard growing up, especially with a solo mum, and she's raising 7 children on her own. I was an angry little boy when my dad left me, or when he left us. I didn't understand what was going on, and I started just being really naughty for my mum, not listening. And because of that, got a lot of hidings, a lot of good hidings, and still didn't learn from those hidings, so got plenty more along the way. And then I hit an age where nothing else. I didn't give a shit about nothing else, and I'd made my mind up that I wanted to just rebel, be naughty, be trouble. So I started just being that. I started being a troubled youth. It didn't really turn out too good for me. One thing led to another. I started doing a lot of really dumb shit, drugs, alcohol, violent things. Then I picked up my first charge was an assault. I was about 16 years old. My first ever time in court for assaulting 2 people in town. I thought I was going to go to jail. I was freaking out. Because I'd only seen movies of jail. I was thinking like, oh no, we're going to go in there. It's going to be big ass muscly cunts. intimidating us and shit. So yeah, I didn't want to go. But then I didn't get jail. I got off. But yeah, everything just started going downhill for me after that. I just started getting involved in a lot of just silly things, and one thing led to another. Then gang life became really attractive to me because I started. Obviously I'd been growing up in it all my life, but I started being around it a lot more as I grew older, and started to understand and see a lot of things, and yeah, it was really. I was attracted to that lifestyle. I wanted to be like that, and then I did. I ended up pursuing that journey and becoming a gang member, and yeah.
What was attractive, bro, about the gang lifestyle?
Just it was like just the overall presence of certain members when they just step on the scene, and the amount of just people that come to them and praise them, and you know, when you see that pulling up on flash ass cars and things like that, like tattooed faces, and when you see that sort of stuff for a majority of your life, like you start thinking that that's cool. Like that's cool. That's what I want to be like. And that's what happened. I ended up pursuing that and did everything I could to be getting that type of praise from members, and you know, feeling that love, and to have such a well-known name in the gang. It felt good to be good at something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it felt really good to be good at something for a change. Because all my life I wasn't good at nothing. Didn't really get a chance to do nothing because my mum didn't have enough money to let us do things that normal kids, or that a lot of kids got to experience growing up. Just sporting, like couldn't afford to pay for our sporting fees, so we didn't really get to do a lot of sporting.
I think that's a real, if I could just carry on with that, bro, I think that's a real social issue that we face as Māori, bro. You and I were talking earlier, and I was telling you, like, obviously you in the Hawke's Bay, and I'm based in Northland here, and it's exactly the same thing, bro. Those limitations that society place on us as young Māori men, they don't quite give us. They'll give us a little bit of rope, but they won't give us enough for us to be able to do something fruitful for our collectives, for our whānau, for our communities, and all those sorts of things. So no wonder why so many of this demographic that are in the gangs at the moment, no wonder they come from similar backgrounds that you've come from, bro. What's your take on that?
Yeah, like, I don't know if people understand the saying, like, you become what you see, or, you know, you become a product of your environment. And that's exactly what a lot of us have become. Like, we're surrounded with drugs, we're surrounded with violence, we're surrounded with abuse from birth. And then when we say this to people, like, I've been getting it lately, like when I put a post up about trying to make people understand that, you know, we are still humans, but we have just been taught and raised a whole different way to everyone else. And when you're being taught that way for so long, it's hard to try and change and live the right way, or what people say is the right way. What is the right way? We don't know, because we were taught our way. To us, that was the right way. People were raised their way. That's the right way to them. So what really is the right way? But yeah, like I said, when you're raised in a certain way for so long, you become like that as well, because you believe that that's how life is meant to be, because that's all we see, that's all that's happening around us. So that's why we end up pursuing lifestyles like, as you see, gang member, because all our options are really at the time. Like people say we get to go to school and learn, like everyone else in the world. Yeah, we do get to go to school and learn, but not everyone's going home after school and getting the bash or getting treated like shit or getting belittled, or, you know, there's a big party at home and things like that. You're going from being at school straight home to all this violence and drug use and things like that. That's the big difference between, yeah, we go to school, we learn, but then we go home and then we see that shit. And then that's what the big difference is, why we are how we are. Like, that's what people need to understand. Yeah, we do get to go to school and learn like everyone else, but like I said, it's home life that everyone doesn't get to see, that we see and we live, that people are not understanding. They think that we choose to live and be like this. Like, no, we don't. We don't want to be like this. That's why I'm out here trying to change shit. But no one wants to fucking listen. Like,
let's talk about that important concept of whānau, bro. Like, you know, you and I were talking earlier, both in our 30s, both young Māori men, and both fathers, bro. Let's talk about how important your family have been, your whānau, your babies have been in kind of this progression, this advancement towards being not only a better father, a better husband, a better partner, but a better man, full stop, bro. How important have whānau been?
Yeah, the family has been the biggest drive for me, because like I've said before, with my first two kids, I was a really selfish man, and you know, I had a big time drug habit at the time, and I was putting myself first, and you know, I missed out on a lot of their lives. And ever since I started doing this change, it's a lot of it has been for them and myself as well. But they are the reason why I stay focused and keep doing what I'm doing. Because I was nearly just going to relive the cycle that my dad had left for me. I was living it, but I happened to just wake up and try something different, and that's what I've been up to, and trying something different for a change. And it's been pretty massive, actually. It's been really hard, but it's been good. I've learned a lot of good lessons along the way, and you know, I've met a lot of really good people as well that I never ever would have thought I would have crossed paths with in my life.
Bro, I saw a image on Facebook earlier this afternoon, bro, when I was doing a bit of research on you. And it was an image of yourself, your youngest baby, Dave Latele, the brown butterbean, and his youngest baby. And obviously, you'll know Dave's the brown butterbean story too, bro. He's a product of this whole gang upbringing that we've been talking about, bro. And the caption went something along like two brown men breaking the cycle, breaking the intergenerational curse. That your guys' babies won't have to grow up in the gangs. How big is that to you?
That it's a big thing. I feel like, because I'm always going to be a member, but my goal is to try and just change the mindset and the way that we do things as gang members. And I just want people to know that we, especially my bros, that it's all good to live normal lives as well, and have jobs and be fathers, and because that's where we're stuck in the cycle. A lot of people are just going round and round, just reliving what their parents were like to them, and then they're doing it to their children, and then it's just happening again and again.
I think that's why what you're doing is really brave, bro. Like, it's you know, showing the bros that are patched up, like a new way of normal. Like, it's not their fault that that's what they consider to be a level of normality, what they're doing every day of the week, like whether that be, you know, at the pad, whether that be drugs, whether that be whatever, committing, you know, criminal offences, whatever. To some of our whānau, that is considered normal. The reason I see you as a really inspirational character is because you're redefining normality for so many Māori men and women and families, bro, around New Zealand. Mob whānau and gang whānaus too, bro, that to say, hey, it's all good, we can be loving, we can be caring, we can be good Māori, we can be on the bench press, we can be on the squat rack and all of those sorts of things, bro. What's your take on that?
That's what it's all about, just even trying to change our own mindsets, but as well as trying to change what the public see us to be. That's been the biggest challenge for me, is to even though I speak about what I'm up to, and that some of the people still are, nah, fuck, he's all shit, all this sort of stuff. But there are still a lot of good people out there that are big supporters. But yeah, judgment, it's a big thing. And because of things like that, it stops a lot of people like myself even trying to want to change, because one thing I'll put it down to is just poor education. None of us have had massive education, and so what might be, you know, like simple to the white man, but to us, fuck, it's challenging. It's really challenging, because we don't have those social skills. We don't have the ability to understand a lot of things in the world or in anything because of that education side of things. And yeah, and then there's the poverty that's like, it is unbelievable. It's not like America, but like, it's still unbelievable. Like, yeah, just to see how it looks on one side of town, and then you go on the other side of town, fucking there's heaps of big houses that no one's even living in. And you go on that side of town, there's homeless people, there's, you know, starving people, there's all these people, but that's, you know, no one really gives a shit about that. And then all the cops are over in that area harassing all the people that can't even afford to pay for nothing. Keeping them in the system by, you know, putting fines on them or locking them up for little petty things. You don't see that shit happening on the other side of town, where, you know, just because they got flash houses doesn't make them any better than us, or any legit, fuck. Because some of the most corrupt people that I've ever met in my gang career, bro, people that you would never believe. Like, even I was like, hey, fuck, I won't name anyone, but fuck yeah, there's some corrupt people out there that are not gang members, that are not even a gang associates, that are just, you would not even suspect, and they're way more corrupted than us.
It comes back to that white collar, blue collar crime sort of thing, bro? Like, you know, the little pickpocket, and then there's the, you know, the one evading tax and, you know, ripping off companies. And
because they've been educated, they're just smart people. But you know, the gang members, we get caught doing dumb things because we're not educated, and when we start seeing a bit of money coming in, fuck, we get excited and we start wanting to flash it around and things like that. Just because we come from nothing. And to have something, fuck, it's hard to control yourself. Like, it's like you're like a little kid in a candy store sometimes when you come from nothing and then you get a little bit of something. It's like a big achievement, bro? Like, none of us get degrees or masters or certificates of any type of achievement, but we get a lot of court letters, a lot of fines and things like this shit. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Bro, I just have to say this, bro. You strike me as a very articulate, and since we're talking about education, you strike me as a very articulate and educated person, bro. Where did that come from? Are you a bit of a bookworm? Like, do you like reading, or like, have you always been good at talking?
No, I haven't been, bro. Like, I've only learned to talk like this since I've started doing my social media and talking to the camera and doing things like I was really bad. But even at school, my concentration span was just real small. Like, I couldn't listen. I wasn't the type of learner that could read stuff and learn that way, or listen to someone talk about it, and I had to do it. I hated reading. I still hate reading, but I have to still. I try and force myself to read, but it doesn't happen much. But I've just learned to speak like this from experience in life and things that I've been through, and it just I have to try and school myself up some way, because I feel like soon I'm going to be sitting down with some politician and then we're going to be having a bit of a battle. I'm hoping that on the ground.
Is that on the cards, bro? Is getting into that sort of governance space to be able to affect change with our gang whānau? Is that on the cards, that you want to be the man to take that conversation to the tables, the big boardrooms in Wellington? Are you that guy, bro?
I feel like I could be that guy, but I don't think that the government will ever fix gangs or the problem with gangs. But I do believe the gangs can fix the gangs, and the leaders within the gangs can fix the gangs. But there's no way in hell that the gangs are going to listen to someone standing in Parliament trying to say this and that, especially like Simeon Brown. I'll just drop his name again.
The bro.
But he wouldn't, but won't come out and sit down and, hear from us ourselves what the issues are or whatever. Like, I would like to be that guy that goes in there and he's the voice for us and gets things heard, and just puts our points across, because we have a lot of valid reasons for why we are the way we are. They're quick to tell us, like, stop blaming everyone else and stop pointing the finger. You need to grow up and take responsibility. Like, yeah, well, fuck, we didn't really get a chance to grow up. We've been fucking adults since we were born, man. And that's where they're not getting it. Like, we've been told to do adult shit from birth. We didn't get a chance to be little kids and get loved and get all this, enjoy kid life. We're knees deep in the struggle. It was real.
Yeah.
And it's not a make-believe book. This shit happens. It's still happening today. And it's sad.
I think, bro, the one of the reasons in my mind, at least, why the powers that be in New Zealand seek to continually and perpetuate that oppression, bro, that we're talking about, is it's exactly that, bro. It's that commodification of someone else's oppression. And it just so happens that if you're brown, you've got leather vest on, you've got a pat on your back, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the first person that they're going to seek to commodify your oppression. They're going to try and make money out of you being miserable, out of you being depressed, out of you being sad, out of you being lonely, all those sorts of things, bro. And, we can see people, they want to jump in on the live. We're saying some money. How's that for you, bro? Does that strike a chord with you?
So what was that, brother? Sorry.
It's like the powers that be in New Zealand seek to always keep a certain demographic oppressed, because it's good for them. They make money out of you continually paying fines. They make money out of you going to jail. We know everybody on a bed in jail, that's in our private jails in New Zealand, that's money.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, if you're a brown Maori male, if you've got a leather vest on your back with a patch on your back, it's going to be you. You've drawn the lucky number. You got the lucky tip. It's you going inside to keep that balance, that imbalance of power.
Yeah, bro. Oh, I believe that's what's going on. I believe that they do that to us to keep us, like you said, in that corner, to keep their hands on our throats, to monitor our whereabouts. It's nearly like we're just chipped human beings that are, we're stuck in this way that they made for us, put us there and won't let us get out. And when we try and get out, they fuck with us even more to try and keep us there, because they've been doing it to me a little bit. Like, they still, they still drive past my house. They still try and take photos of my property and the vehicles. They'll make smart remarks and things like that. Yeah.
What does it feel like,
eh?
What does it feel like for someone who's actively trying to better himself and grow? What does that feel like?
It feels ratchet. It feels ratchet, like, because you're out here proving, I'm walking the talk, I'm proving it, I'm doing all these things, I'm staying out of the limelight. I haven't been on their radar, but they're trying to, they're coming past and trying to poke me with a stick just to get some sort of reaction or see if I'm gonna do something silly. But nah. I'll go out there and I'll get smart to them and do things like that. Still have that humor about me. Go out there and be clowns to them. I don't go out there and threaten them or tell them they'll fuck off or things like that. But I'll go out there and be cheeky to them and things like that.
Take them a cup of tea and some biscuits.
Yeah. I'll just go out there and
pull up a chair.
If they're taking pictures of the cars, I'll go out there and give them the names that they're under. Here's the papers here. You just want to see the bank accounts and that where the money's coming out of and things like that. Just to fuzz their buzz a little bit. Because that's what they're trying to do to me.
Bro, I just want to take the foot off the intensity pedal for a little bit, bro. And I want to address the elephant in the room for all of 564 of our viewers. Big time. Bro, there's obviously two handsome Māori men in this live, both wearing facial tattoos, facial markings, bro. Tell me about your story. How did the facial markings happen? How did it end up with you, bro?
Ever since I joined the gang, I always had a dream of tattooing my face at some stage. And then I started I lost a few friends in my life. They were really close to me. And that was sort of the push for me to tattoo the face. Just to acknowledge my bros that I was really close with in the gang, and I tattooed my face. And the other reason was because it's my war mask, bro. Like, it's to let everyone know, like, this is me. This is who I am. You hate me or love me, it doesn't even matter. Like, fuck, I'm not here to hide. I'm not here to be sneaky or slimy. I'm here to, wherever I go, everyone will know who I am and what I represent. And that's what I really got it for, was to, proud about being who I am and representing, for life. Because it's a life thing, and it's not something that you would do just to look cool or to be cool, because it puts up a lot of barriers.
Well, let's talk about some of those barriers that you've encountered since you got it, bro. Like, if I can talk from experience too, like having a mataora, bro, like you can walk into some brick walls in society, bro. I expect that you would have had the same experience.
Yeah, so when I first got it done, at the time I didn't even give a shit about nothing. I was just like, fuck, I don't even care if I can't go nightclubbing. I don't even care if I can't go into this place. I don't even care what people think. But it wasn't until I started to want to get a job, wanted to do something different, where I started actually feeling the impact of the decision that I made. And yeah, I used to get shitty at times and, you know, have a bit of abuse the people for kicking me out of their establishments and things like that. But now, because of what I'm doing, some of those doors have been opening up to me. People love what I've been doing and have finally accepted me as just a normal human and have looked past my face, and have let me into their places. And it's a good feeling to be able to do that after them taking big judgment on me and, you know, already having this image of who I am and what kind of guy I am, until, you know, they start following me on social media. And like I said, I walk my talk and I post it all over my social media, what I get up to and what I do. And people started to take liking to that. And now things are starting to change for me. My thing that was my biggest barrier is starting to be part of my biggest success. And
yeah,
it's actually everyone that told me that I wouldn't do anything with this. Well, there you go. I'm doing things, doors are opening, so you were wrong. I just wanted to say that.
Talk to me. I have this discussion with all the bros that I cross that have matora, bro, but obviously you're the first that I've crossed that has a red and black Notorious across their face. What was the sorest part of your tattoo, bro?
Yeah, so the sorest part for me was right there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Under the nose, under the nostrils, man. That's worse than birth. I've never had birth, but I bet you that's worse than birth. Nah.
All the bros with their noses done will know that, bro. I was sneezing. Don't ask my tuna, bro. I sneezed like 10 times when he was in my nose.
You have to like stick your finger in your nostril or some toilet paper up there just to stop that vibration and that tickling feeling from sneezing, but it's like a hurting, tickling feeling.
Yeah, Kireka.
Yeah, it was the sorest bit that sucked. Everywhere else was all good.
And it was interesting that I cracked up the first time you crossed my path anyway, that I saw who you were, bro. It was because 50 Cent thought he was about that life to make comments on your tattoo, bro. What did you make of that when someone like 50 Cent, you would have listened to 50 Cent growing up?
Yeah, no, I was a big 50 Cent fan, bro. Like, honestly, when I first heard about it, I didn't even believe it. I was like, hey, nah, fuck off, bullshit. Like, why would he be talking about me for? Like, I'm just a you know, a boy from the hood. But then people started sending me these pictures. Like, nah, look, this is on his Instagram page. I was like, hey, fuck. Yeah, I found it pretty massive, to be honest. They were like, it was, even though I didn't find it any offensive or anything, like, he actually did me a big favor. He let the world notice me. So yeah, I can't complain about that.
Any publicity is good publicity, they say, bro.
Yeah, but ever since then, things have been just going uphill, like a few downhill, but mostly uphill for me. Like there was sort of like a little bit of a big break for me to get out of the hood. But yeah, just to give me a bit of publicity, and then now here I am now. People still talk about it to this day too.
And we laugh about it today. Bro, let's keep moving our conversation, our discussion along, bro. Fit2Guk. What is Fit2Guk? Fit2Guk. That is a catchy name in itself, bro. What is Fit2Guk?
You know, that's one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, what does Guk mean? So everyone that's watching, this is what Guk means. Guk just means go, but in our terminology. And overall, it just means fit to never quit. And that's not just in fitness, that's just in life in general, just trying to overcome your struggles and your challenges, and just being fit to never quit. And that just means never giving up. Just keep moving forward, keep pushing on, and eventually dreams come true, bro. Like, and that's all I've been doing, just digging deep and pushing on, and things are starting to fall into place for me, and it's been pretty unbelievable, to be honest.
Bro, you know, it's one thing to make your own dreams come true, bro, but I think you're starting to move into a space where you're helping other people make their dreams come true. And that's when you start getting into the sweet spot, bro. I was looking at your Instagram earlier this evening, and some of the like transformations, bro, and this Fit2Guk program that you're running. Like, bro, you're seeing like people are dropping like 30, 40, 50 kgs at a time, bro. And it's amazing.
Yeah. No, there's been some big clients that have lost a lot of weight. But yeah, I'm just about trying to help people understand things about exercise and fitness and healthy eating, and the benefits that it has for you as an individual and just your overall being, and just how it's like, bro, it's just like the number one medicine that I feel like every human should be having, because it changes your life. It really does. It changed my life for the better. And yeah, it sucks at first. the first part of trying to get into it sucks, but once you're into it and you catch that fever, man, it is hard to stop. And just the amount of work you put into creating or sculpting your body to how you want it, man, you start to appreciate a lot of things, and then all those things start to just fall into your life. You start appreciating life itself a lot more, especially when you're starting to feel good and your mind is thinking clearer. You start understanding simple things better. That's what's been going on for me, just understanding things in life, and it's been massive. And that's why I'm out there with Fit2Guk, trying to motivate and inspire other people to just get moving, use fitness as a positive channel to put your frustrations or your negative energy into, and putting it into a positive way to benefit yourself overall. And I came up with Fit2Guk to just help people understand general knowledge of fitness and how to just understand eating as well. And I give them a training plan. They just have to follow it. And then once they understand it, because it's something that you follow once, you learn, and when you got the knowledge, you don't need anyone else to tell you how to do it. You've got that, and then you carry on. And that's what I want to do for people. I don't want them to just be paying me money for the rest of their lives and following my plans. Like, I want them to learn as they go on my plans, and then drop me eventually and go on their own journey, so they don't have to pay no one, because that's how it should be.
It comes back to that: give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. That sort of buzz, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive to get a personal trainer out there, but it's like $70 to $100 an hour, and there's no way our people can afford something like that.
Bro, here's a bit of a topic question, bro. Here's a bit of a full-on question. What's the greatest thing? What's the biggest thing the weights have taught you?
Are you talking about lifting weights?
Yeah, well, you know, when you're under the weight, you learn a lot about yourself, bro. When you're under 200 on the squat rack, you learn about yourself, not your physical capabilities, but what's going on in here, bro. What's the weight taught you the most?
I feel like weights definitely taught me that, especially lifting them, is that a lot of things that I would back out from or not try was just my own mind telling me or convincing myself, nah, I can't do that. And as soon as I stopped doing that, I started being able to do the things that I was telling myself that I couldn't do. That was one of the biggest things that I've learned through lifting weights is that, and another thing is to not ego lift. It's not about how heavy the weight is. It's about how you lift the weight. That's another thing I try and let people know is don't lift with your egos. Don't wait till there's some Sheilas walk in the gym and try and load the old squat rack up or the old bench up. You know, it's all about just getting maximal squeeze on the muscle you're trying to hit, and you don't need to lift heavy weights to do that. And in my opinion, lifting heavy weights doesn't give you a proper squeeze on the muscle because it's too heavy. So you're going to be using a whole bunch of other muscles to lift the weight, and it's going to take focus off the main muscle that you're trying to hit. So there are benefits of lifting heavy, but there are benefits of lifting light as well. So
that talks to me a lot about humility, bro. That talks into that concept of humility, bro. I think that's if I could, I don't want to put words in your mouth and answer that question for you, bro. But you struck me as quite a humble person through behind everything that's going on, bro. That's the humility is kind of speaking to me at the moment, bro.
Yeah, like I said, bro. Like I've did a lot of silly things in the past, bad things to people that you know I regret a lot of the things that I've done, but I can't do nothing about it. But I've learned lessons from those things, and I've learned to be humble. I wasn't always humbled. I was really standoffish and antisocial with people outside the game. And that's what I say when I say fitness changed my life and saved it, because I started socializing with normal people, having normal friends, and that was the big game changer for me. There was just having like normal people in my life, like because for a long time in my life was just gang members, and that was all I let into my life. And when I started letting in normal people that had different views on life and had been through different struggles to me, and then I started letting in different kinds of people, like Pākehā people, and I didn't really trust Pākehā people, and people that come from where I come from will understand why. But then these two people that came into my life, just, man, they were unbelievable. It was the things that they had helped me with, the things that they had just been there, supporting me unconditionally, wanting nothing in return. That was what our people were missing, was that just support, just normal support a little bit. That's what made me be the man that I am today. I just had some people supporting me. I had a vision. I had these people pushing and encouraging me to pursue my vision, and they were helping me along my journey the whole way. And you know, we're here today, and now I'm helping other people break those barriers as well, because it's our own minds that are the biggest barriers to ourselves. And we like to point fingers at people, say, nah, it's them, but really it's ourselves. And when you understand that things, the way you start looking at life just starts making sense, especially when you understand that you are in control of your own mind and your own decisions and your own life. No one can make you do anything. Like, it's where everything changed for me. Once I understood that, well, that's it. I've started the journey, and now I'm here today, doing what I'm doing, and it's been one of the bestest decisions that I ever made in my life was to take the straight and narrow path. I'm still there I'm still a gang member. I've never denied the fact about that. But I've changed everything that I used to do. And yeah, I'm trying to just plant those seeds into my bros' minds as well to help them become better men and better fathers and build our brotherhood tighter and just bring more positivity into, you know, a group that's just had fucking just a ball of negativity for a majority of our lives. Yeah,
I think
just, and that's all it takes, brother. Just that support that I was talking about.
Sure, bro. I think you touch on a good point there, bro. A good point for us to begin wrapping up with. We've hit 51 minutes, so this is a good place for us to start winding out what has been a wicked conversation tonight, brother. And I'm actually lost for words actually at how awesome it's been. You can see that the comments are coming in, the reactions are coming in, people are loving the discussion coming up, bro. I think this is a good place for us to start winding it up. What would you say to the brothers still in that gang lifestyle, not necessarily to change them 100%, but to kind of redirect those who are still currently in those places that you have been and you have come out of? What would you say to them, words of support to help them come back onto that straight and narrow that you're talking about, to be not only a good brother, not only a good uncle, not only a good friend, not only a good member, but a good man, full stop? What would you say to them?
I would say to them to keep your heads up high, my brothers. Life has definitely been hard for a lot of us, and you know, that I understand the struggle is real. But like I was saying earlier, we can control the outcome that we are in. We just have to take control of our own minds and start just changing those mindsets up a little bit. Keeping up with the times is a big thing. We can't keep living in the 80s, because back in the 80s you could do stuff like violent acts and you'll get minimal prison, but now you do anything from punching someone, you get years in prison, especially our people. So yeah, we just got to keep up with the times, keep our heads up, keep moving, leading by example. It's definitely hard to make change, but it's not impossible. And just reach out to the brothers around that are making positive changes in our communities that we live in, and yeah, just don't be afraid to ask for help, because a lot of that goes on. Like, it's real. Like, a lot of us are too tough to ask for help, and we don't. And that needs to stop. We need to stop putting on these brave faces and these staunch acts when we're facing dark times and dark thoughts in our minds. We need to speak up and let it be known that we are going through those things in our minds, so we can take action and help fix those problems, because it's real, bro. Suicide is real, and fuck, I've lost way too much bros to suicide, and I don't want to lose no more. So, and it's a big thing, just reaching out when you're in need of help. Yeah,
bro, I think that's an awesome place to leave our discussion, and I endorse everything that you've said. Reaching out and engaging in these collective spaces, talking to one another. Simply, turn up at the bros. Well, obviously not on lockdown, but get the bro on the phone and just talk, bro. Just talk. There's so much healing properties in simply being able to get the bro on the phone and going, bro, fuck, I'm struggling. Can you help? And 9 times out of 10, the bro can help and the bro will help.
Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, the thoughts in our mind, or the thoughts that are going on in your mind ain't even really happening. It's just yourself. Just when it comes back to your mind, controlling your mind. It's hard. It's a hard thing to master, but it can be done.
Awesome, brother. Well, I think that's an awesome place to leave our discussion tonight. Has been a vibe, bro. One of the best, if not the best podcast guest that we've had to date. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Taumata Kōrero done and dusted for another evening. If you want to find my man, Fit2Guk, where can we get you on social media, brother? Where can everyone sign up to the 8-week challenge going on at the moment, bro?
Well, you can go on to Fit2Guk on Facebook. It's just Fit2Guk. Or Instagram, Puck Fit2Guk. TikTok, Puck Fit2Guk. Or www.fit2guk.com. Any one of those, you can find me there. And I'd love to help you start your fitness career and your fitness journeys. So yeah,
all good places to get involved in the action. You can get us at Taumata Kōrero on Instagram. You can also get us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all good places you get your podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure, brother. Tēnei rā te mihi nui ki a koe, e te tuakana e Poutawa e pak, ka nui te mihi ki a koe, mihana te ngā koe, brother. Thank you very much for agreeing to jump on at such short notice, bro. It has been a pleasure having a yarn with you, my bro, and I promise you we will be doing this again, bro, because this has been me, bro. Tēnā koe. Ladies and gentlemen, that is us done and dusted for another evening. I am Raniera Harrison. This is my man Fit2Guk. Kia hoki anora, ki era kupurongo nui rawatu. Long live the Whānau. We'll see you fellas when we do. Pomari.
Right.